Good morning and welcome to episode 1667 of Hard Factor. It is Thursday, March 13th, 2025. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80% accuracy guaranteed on this podcast. Patreon.com/Hard Factor. If you need more Hard Factor. Today, Mark is kicking us off with some big international news. Huge.
That's right. Thank you, Vodka Boy.
Yeah, right. Patreon.com/Hard Factor. You can watch World War III, the game, the first ever playthrough with Mark and I. We just released it on the High Mountain.
Oh, nice!
Wow.
I pulled the Vodka Boy card. Mark,
Will was gay Russia, and I was cartel North America.
Yeah. Mark pulled some fast ones on me as the cartel. You hit me with several attacks that were very effective. So right. It's kind of like Risk. Like there's going to be a second episode. We haven't finished it yet, but
yeah, it's good.
Sweet,
good
work.
Yeah, we got to play through it. Yeah. Check it out.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's a fun game.
Patreon.com. We had /Hard Factor. We had some good laughs and accumulated some territories and had some very stereotypical racism and political humor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You cumed some Tories?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, we're each sitting at 4, but Mark's got what do you got? China and you have a couple.
I have China, Canada. I got the 51st state. I added that, and then I have like triple your money.
Yeah, that's a tough part. It's playing out like real life, like Russia's just on. We got a lot of land, but we're really spread thin, and America's just pounding us with that big bank account. So
yeah, I do have. Speaking of foreign places, Duterte, and he's not doing well. Remember, our friend from the Philippines. Huge update on Duterte. Yeah.
Duterte.
Big update on Duterte.
I'm excited to hear about this one because the headline and then it doesn't add up with the facts, I think. It's confusing. It's very confusing what happened to Rodrigo Duterte.
I'll clear it up for you.
So I'm pretty fired up.
Yeah.
One quick question. When I hear big update for Duterte, I'm thinking, does he kiss guys again? Is that the...
No. Well, he cured himself of the gayness.
I know, but I feel
cured
like
means gone.
The shoe to drop. Okay.
It's not remission. It's gone.
What don't you know about that, Will?
Okay. All right. Yeah. Pat, you're on deck. What you got?
Oh, we're going to talk about what's becoming an alarming trend where people are going off the sides of highways and being stuck under underpasses. If that sounds like it rings a bell, it's because it does. We're going to get into it. Thank God a mother is safe in the hospital in critical condition, but what happened was absolutely insane.
Wow. Can't wait to hear that one. Wes, what do you got in the hole?
Going to be visiting our friend, the Devil.
Ooh.
Because he apparently made an appearance on an American Airlines flight from Georgia to Miami, and it was a doozy. So I'll tell you all about what happened there.
He's the last guy you want to see on a plane.
The last.
Yeah.
Sit down next to the devil. That's not great.
The seatbelt light comes on, and then he pops up. That is not good.
Which is worse, him or Bin Laden on a plane?
That's tough.
The devil, dude, because you're going to be like, hey, man, are you here for one of us or all of us? And he'd say something like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you might have a hero that could tackle a Bin Laden on the plane, like those guys that were flying over the one flight that they made.
Yeah.
But you can't tackle the devil.
Yeah. That's a cool looking devil, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry for Lucifer that he missed episode 1666 by just one episode. So.
Well, he's a fan.
Beelzebub? Yeah.
I think he's a fan, Will, and I'll explain to you why.
All right. And then I've got dumb stuff. Top 5 dumb things happening right now. Close it out.
That's awesome. Is anyone talking about the Pakistani train hijacking? What the fuck was that?
No. Intense though, right?
Other than they stopped him. I think they executed 100 people.
A ton of people died.
Some militants took the train and they ended up taking. They got the train back, but summarily executed at least 100 on that train.
Yeah, maybe we'll cover it. Maybe we'll cover it tomorrow. But I saw the video. They were in the hills and they bombed part of the train to stop it. So they exploded like a car, and then they ran from the hills down, disarmed like militia, and they took over the train. And then they threatened to kill a bunch of passengers if they didn't have a prisoner exchange of their, like, the people that they are associated with, they're in prisons. And then
Jeez, bro.
and the Pakistani militia came in and just killed all of them, but they killed like a bunch of hostages before that happened. So like 100 people died.
That's crazy. Crazy.
Not good. Not good.
All right, let's.
It's like Old West train jacking.
It was, but ended in like mass deaths. Yeah.
Right. Very sad ending. Wasn't
I
like a
prefer-
hilarious.
Prefer it was Nikes,
Right. That was a lot more peaceful. So huge news out of the Philippines. Rodrigo Duterte, you know what I mean? He's in trouble. In fact, he's imprisoned in The Hague. Is that how you pronounce it? The Hague, The Hague? The Hague in the Netherlands, which is not a good prison to be in.
But they had nice prisons in the Netherlands.
I
thought they get like TVs and shit.
This is an international prison, though, so I think
Yeah, it's probably a good prison to be in one respect, like the quality of the prison, but it's a bad prison to be in the fact that he might be the only prisoner there.
You're a highly wanted criminal.
He might not be taking cock meat sandwiches like at Guantanamo, but he's not getting out.
Right.
No, this is a very
It's not like Sweden.
Formal prisonership.
Right. It's not like Sweden where West, like, you could be a murderer and then they just give you an apartment and then like
Denmark, I think.
I'm looking at the room that Duterte is about to get in, and I see a fucking foosball table.
He's gonna be playing foosball, but he's gonna be playing foosball in that room for the rest of his life. Yeah.
It looks nice.
Yeah, but it's not as nice as
flat screen on
no, Mark. It's nice. I'm sorry.
I know, but it's not as nice as having a bevy of whores, 16 to 18-year-old whores in the Philippines.
He's
running,
used to a high
running the country with your boy. Like, yeah, well, that's what he's been doing.
Right.
So,
previously, when he started to feel a little bit of that gay coming on, he would stamp it out with some whores, but without those whores,
he's just going to be in jail. Yeah, he's going to have to.
Maybe he's had some lady boys that he can trick you with. Like, see, she's a woman.
Yeah, it's true. Look, it works the same. It works the same. Who'd have guessed?
So
placebo.
He's in trouble. He's facing charges of crimes against humanity at the International Criminal Court over his deadly war on drugs, which was his big thing during his presidential stint. It was basically where he killed tens of thousands of people that some were drug dealers, some were drug users, some were opponents of his, and some were just innocent bystanders, and none stood trial. They just got executed in the streets and stuff. They just got Duterte when he was president from 2016 to 2022. That's when he was committing all these crimes. The Philippines' oldest president, Duterte, who took office at 71, claims he was once gay, but cured himself, was allegedly paying and utilizing death squads to kill at least 1,400 people, a lot of which were youths.
Okay. Well, the youths were, they were being troublesome.
Yeah.
And so he figured he just needed to go ahead and murder all that out of being a problem.
What
just
about his
like
daughter?
He stamped it
trying to take over.
We'll get to Sarah. She's the vice president currently. Some interesting notes about Duterte. He has claimed he was sexually abused by a priest when he was a minor. The priest's name was Mark Falvey. The Jesuits of the Society of Jesus in the Philippines confirmed that in May 2007, the Society of Jesus agreed to a tentative payout of $16 million for Falvey sexually abusing at least 9 children in Los Angeles from 1959 to 1975. So he might be right about that on Duterte's accusations. He also they began in 2002, these accusations, but he was never charged with a crime. In May of 2008, the Diocese of Sacramento paid a $100,000 settlement to a person allegedly being raped and molested by Mark's brother, Arthur Falvey. So the Falvey brothers
runs in the family.
They created a monster, though. Now
one
of their seed is in the Hague.
My grandpa always said, "A priest will molest you gay."
Yeah, that's what happened. You're both right.
My
Your grandfather's right. You're right.
Grandpa
Will's
used to say that to me.
Yeah, because the Falveys were monsters, but they might have created a monster in Duterte.
How did they get him though? This was when I saw this headline. I said, "What the?"
Well,
fuck?
he was little. He was a child, so they probably just got him.
I don't mean
Yeah,
how
I
did
mean,
the
he was
priest
easy
get
to
him,
wrangle
guys.
at the time.
I don't mean how did the priest get him. I mean how did the police
His
get him?
little legs.
How did the international police? How was he detained? Because there's a
at
lot of
the
guys that
airport.
commit crimes against humanity.
Lollipops.
At the airport. And
Okay,
you'll see
stop.
He was lollipops, Pat. What do you?
He's dumb.
Because the parents were like, "What do you?"
What doesn't he get about?
Oh,
this?
Duterte. Oh, we'll get to that. Duterte also claims to have shot a fellow student at college or university because the guy was bullying him for being a dirty, whatever ethnicity he is. Claims he was calling him dirty and stinky and poor and making fun of. Here I have it. The Vizians, a native people to Vizia, obviously. And here's a drawing of Vizians. Can I get a ruling on this, Wes? Borderline.
It doesn't jump out at me.
It's just a cultural thing. They just,
Okay. All right.
But I mean, the hand signal. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little borderline. I don't know. So Duterte got sick of being called a dumb Vizian and shot the guy who ended up living. When asked about it, he said, "Well, I'm used to shooting people on a fact of me being a dirty Vizian."
Yeah, not really sure that one gets you in the Hague.
No.
Ordering countless murders.
Yeah, that was just it. Just points the picture that he claims in college when he shot a guy for making fun of him, and then said, "I'm used to shooting people." Way before he ran for politics. This is just he's been molested as a kid, so tainted, and then he's like shooting people all throughout his youth, and then
He's also 5'6".
Duterte got
which is
Duterte.
tough.
Yeah, as you said.
Yeah. Anyway, that's just a few of the controversies listed, and maybe the longest Wikipedia page for any one person I've ever seen. It's about 800,000 words. And on Tuesday of this week, upon his return from Hong Kong on a commercial flight, Duterte was arrested at Ninoy Aquina International Airport for crimes against humanity. The warrant was issued by the ICC and through Interpol. So this is a multi-agency thing, and his ass is in The Hague, Netherlands. He's fucked, and he got fucked by the current president and his political rival, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., who helped authorities this entire time and then alerted him.
Bong?
I think the president's Fernando Marcos Jr. Do I have that wrong?
I think his name is
Is that the
Bong
same?
Bong. Yeah,
Is that the same
Bong
guy
Bong.
though? Bong.
I guess he goes by Bong Bong. Yeah.
Bong Bong?
I think so.
Yeah.
I remember looking that up because I
Bong
remember
Bong?
seeing Bong Bong and then being like,
Bong
"That
Bong.
guy's got a normal name."
That's-
Might not be the same,
yeah.
but I think it is. Yeah.
I think you're right. Let me just make sure. I
So
don't have
Bong
the
Bong
wrong
gets
name.
his revenge. That's crazy.
Yeah, so Bong Bong was
And he's the new
working-
dictator.
Marcos,
in
yeah.
the Philippines. So
He is. He was working with the authorities, with Interpol and everyone, and he was like, "Hey, guess what? The plane's landing in 15 minutes. The plane's landing in 10 minutes. The
it's
plane's landing in
good
5
to be the current
Oh,
dictator. You know.
nice.
Yeah.
So just pointing this out here, there was a little warrant issued by the ICC not too long ago against a man that's currently traveling to our country back and forth very often. I'm
Tate?
talking about Benjamin Netanyahu. I guess when the
Oh, right.
Netanyahu warrant came out and we knew everyone was like, "Oh, this is a nothing burger. This is a symbolic situation saying, hey, man, you're doing some crimes against humanity." But then in Duterte's
True.
case, they actually got him. Like,
Yeah. Counterpoint to that, the IDF is a little bit tougher nut to crack than Duterte's like overweight aunt who travels with him now.
Right, and also
You know what I mean?
Netanyahu isn't like getting sold out by the next Netanyahu in his own
He doesn't
country.
have bong
Yeah.
informing everybody where he is. But yeah,
Duterte's
I mean,
fucked.
it's
He goes,
possible.
"Bong Bong."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Bong Bong. And Bong Bong Marcos, he went so far as he went on TV minutes after Duterte was flying to The Hague to give a braggadocious speech saying, "We got him." We got him." To the whole nation.
I mean, he was set up by Bong Bong.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, yeah, maybe somebody could definitely try to set up Netanyahu, but again, he has the IDF like watching his six all the time.
Yeah, it helps to have a coup in your own country, or like the powerful people in your own country against you to get these things to stick.
Yeah,
back
Israel harder.
Back to Wes's point, daughter Sarah
Mm-hmm.
Duterte.
Big Sarah.
Got to be nervous.
Yeah, who looks
Big
like
Sarah.
she looks like she could crack a coconut with her bare hands.
Strong
Yeah.
Sarah.
She could, yeah.
Look at that woman.
She is
The coconuts just tremble in the tree when they see her walking up.
she's Bong Bong Fernando Marcos Jr.'s current vice president, and she has called what happened to her father a kidnapping. So it doesn't sound like on the same page, president and vice president. One's working with authorities and bragging on TV. The other one's like, my daddy has been kidnapped.
Look,
Oh,
I know a
tough
kidnapping.
situation.
I watched my dad commit a lot of them. Okay,
Yes.
and this was a kidnapping.
Yeah,
Classic.
exactly. He got Duterte, she said.
Rodrigo would have done it the same. And so
Now, Duterte, he might not have been in this problem if his fucking daughter hadn't listened to him. So this is kind of on her. He wanted his daughter to run for president in 2022, and she chose to be Marcos Jr.'s VP. And then apparently the Marcoses and the Dutertes are the two most powerful dynasties in the Philippines and have been for like decades. It's like the Starks and Lannisters. And
yeah, it's like dictators. Yeah.
Sarah dropped the ball, letting the Marcoses take the reins, and they absolutely stamped it because they're getting rid of the top Duterte.
Bong, bong.
Yeah. I'd like to know what the former producer of the show, Eric, and his girlfriend Miel, think about what's going on in the Philippines. Maybe we should
Yeah, I mean, I
reach out for boots on the ground.
I wasn't thinking they were huge fans of either side in this war, but I don't know.
No, I just want to know what the vibe's like.
Well, if the current dictator's winning, most people are like, all right, because like that's the current guy versus the old guy.
And they just got his boy Quill Boy recently too, who was Duterte's best friend, the fake priest that was raping everyone. So Duterte and Quill Boy out.
Bong bong.
Good writer, Quill Boy.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, it happened again. It happened again.
What's that?
You guys remember last year when Matt Riem went off the I-94 highway and was trapped in his crashed truck under an underpass for 6 days? Does that ring a bell?
Yes, that picture rings a bell.
It does. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, it happened again. Not to Matt, thank God. That would be terrible. Yeah.
Twice in a row.
No,
Wow.
it didn't happen to Matt. But the circumstances are eerily similar. Now, Matt, very funny guy, very bright guy, lost his leg during the accident. He was super positive afterwards. We haven't seen or heard from the next victim of sliding under an underpass for 6 days in Indiana yet because she's in critical care in a Chicago hospital. But this woman, a 41-year-old mother of three, Brianna Castle, she also wrecked her car in Indiana. And the news is having a field day with her thirst traps. They are plentiful.
We'll go back to the last
A
one.
lot of them.
The second one, she kind of
shoulder
looks like
tat.
a burn victim. Not that one.
And this was taken before the accident, Mark.
The one with the
This
big forehead.
That one looks like she had part of her head burned off.
Well, that's maybe just the way I cropped it.
Yeah,
They crop out her forehead for effect.
There's her with her kids. She's 41, so she got started early.
She's a real catfisher with those above the neck pictures, isn't she?
Yeah, I'd say so. I would say so. I mean, she's a chameleon. I didn't even grab a couple of the photos that don't even look like her compared to these 6 photos or so.
They all look very different.
They all look very different. So on Thursday night, she was driving to see a friend, okay, on the highway, okay? Thursday night, okay? Seeing a friend, okay?
Friend, yeah.
You got it? Mm-hmm. Mother who had a relationship early, had 3 kids early, okay? Posting thirst traps, you got it? Going to see a friend on a highway Thursday night.
Girlfriend?
No, I'm saying probably a boyfriend. I'm saying
Yeah.
a friend.
I think it would have been girlfriend if it was a girlfriend, yeah.
I'm just saying a romantic partner most likely Thursday night. A match. She matched. When she fell asleep on the road, okay, and she veered off the road into a ditch under a bridge, okay, like an overpass situation. Here's the car. Look at that.
Oh, no.
Right into a creek.
Damn.
Yeah. So
at least it landed right the correct way.
You mean
what's the
face
incorrect
not
way?
down into water?
face
Trunk
down
is
into
down
water.
into water?
Yeah.
You're sitting in the car,
Yeah.
You're just
I
it's
I
a
don't
crazy
know.
few minutes, but a few seconds really, but then you're sitting in the car.
For 6 days. She was there for 6 days, guys. The same amount of time that Matt Ream was in the car.
What
for
do you
6
mean?
days.
Why'd
was
she
there
stay
for
in the
6
car for
days.
6 days?
She paralyzed?
Because she couldn't move, dude. She was trapped in the car. Her
trapped by
cell
her
phone.
weight?
Yeah, but show that picture again. Is that the real picture?
This is a picture. Yeah, I don't know if that's the picture.
What
of,
is
like,
she
the,
trapped
Couldn't
by?
get out the
She's
window.
trapped by gravity.
Yeah, she's trapped
Stop
by
it.
gravity
Stop
and
it.
I
fast.
mean, you could bust out that window.
She's in serious condition right now. Okay, stop it.
Sorry.
Yeah, so she's like
Okay.
paralyzed.
So she was injured. She
Yeah.
did. Yeah, she was injured.
She was
And
very
that-
severely injured. Okay,
Okay.
and
right.
she was screaming. No one heard her. Her phone was dead. Probably because she was texting. And she was there for 6 days, the same amount of time that Matt Ream was there, in the same state, guys. And she survived the same way that Matt did. She survived on creek water that she was able to soak up with her hoodie and then dip into her mouth, okay? Matt was able to do it with like a visor that he then filtered through his sweatpants and filtered into his
the water's
mouth.
not frozen. How did she get out of the car to get the creek water?
So no, apparently the water filled the car to the point where she could touch water, and that's when she was putting her hoodie in there and
Similar
dipping it in her
question
mouth.
to last time.
Resourceful. Way to go.
Matt's story, and when we're talking about the guy that's trapped in like a storage facility, 6 days, no one checked on her, her kids, her friend.
So this is my fucking issue, guys.
Because Gene Hackman.
Because
Yeah, you man.
when Matt Ream went missing, we talked about this, right? Because he had main communication with the person he was going to see ahead of time. He swerved off the road because of a deer. But I don't know. I was kind of critical, and maybe some people said, no, you wouldn't have done that. But I was thinking to myself, if my loved one was lost, and I knew where they were and where they were going, I would scour the area that they should be, looking to see if they'd run off the road.
Yeah,
I mean, that would be the first thing. But it didn't happen to Matt, except
Or
for
find
guys.
my phone.
But guys, the phone was dead. But guys, this happened a year later in the same state. She was missing for 6 days, and no one said to themselves, you know what? Remember that guy, Matt Ream, who went off the road? Maybe she's off the road. No one did that.
Yeah, it would have been a good thought. It's confusing though, all at the same time, because it's like, I guess it's because they get injured so badly that they can't move, and then they're just stuck there. But yeah, so you'd have to drive out. So nobody did this at all. 6 days.
Car was okay. So here's what happened: is Johnny Martinez, who was working for a road crew, he cruises by, he sees the car wrecked, and he says, "Wait a minute, there's something wrong down there." And he cruises down, and he takes a look, and I guess he said he saw that there was an airbag deployed. And he then called his boss, Jeremy Vanderwall, who's an assistant chief at the local fire department, and then they went down together. He didn't want to go down by himself. But when they got down there, she was awake. And they're like, are you okay? And she was like, no. So then she was airlifted to the hospital in Chicago, where she's in critical condition, 75 miles. She was in Newton County.
They went down there, and they were like, wait a minute. You don't match the picture in your ID.
Wait a minute. These don't match.
So, but she's going to survive, right?
She's going to survive. She's fighting right now, guys. The sheriff said of Johnny Martinez, the road worker who found her, said, quote, in my book, Mr. Martinez is a hero, and we can never thank him enough for his keen eye and quick action. And then he added, it's a shame we had to report him to us. They'll sort it out.
Yeah.
What was he going to do? Not call the police when he found it?
Right, exactly. Look, real quick, guys, I just want to point out some of the crazy similarities which we've gone over, but this happened in Indiana. It was the same length of time. They were both trapped under an underpass. They had the same method of drinking. They were both found by Latinx dudes. Matt was found by Navarro Del Torre and Mario Garcia. And I don't know, man. It's just a little bit too, it's just, what are the odds? You know what I mean? What are the odds?
What's your theory?
You're thinking she staged this?
I don't know. I'm kind of putting it out there for other theories.
Well, I mean, that's the only other possibility besides just freak similarity.
You think the liberals planted those Latin men to be heroes on purpose?
I think so.
You think that's what it is?
I think it was an elaborate ice trap.
I think people in Indiana need to get iPhones.
It's true. Or
better charge
loved
our
ones
Mophis. Yeah.
need to check underpasses. Where was she
Right.
going? Okay.
You know what's fucked up is like, I don't know, it
Drive
was
by.
last year there was like a headline about this Georgia couple that was found after 40 years. They had crashed into a pond, and then I guess the pond was drained, and then they finally, and that happens all the time. It's like oh yeah, we found this couple that had been missing for 30 years in a pond. And it's like you didn't look in the ponds on the route that they were.
The ponds are a little bit harder, but
Right.
I agree. I mean, this car was sticking out of the fucking water. It was like let's get a couple buddies when we get to a
That
bridge.
thing was on the bank. That
On
was
the
that
stop.
car was
Easy
on
to
the
see,
bank of the water. I mean, that's
just look
that's
over.
crazy.
Gotta search the
Absolutely.
People like to mind their own business. You know what I mean? Just I like to mind mine. You know.
You know what I'm saying?
If you see,
I don't think that Mexican found him. I think this is all bullshit. I don't think Mexican found him. I think.
Tell you what, though, we found him. He's out.
People assume that car's abandoned.
They just put him in the car.
They see it. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you would assume it's abandoned, but I mean,
you'd think like 6 days. You'd think somebody would check before 6 days.
And she was screaming a lot. You can even with Waze, you can be like car and creek. You know, like you can add it to
right. I wonder if it was reported on like Google Maps. Before,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like immediately.
She was missing.
She's been reported on all the apps, but no one's checked on it.
Fat woman in ditch.
All right. Look, guys, maybe the reason Johnny Martinez didn't go down there right when he saw the car is because he was a little bit out of shape. And that's why he had to call his boss, the fire chief, who's in better shape. He needs to level up his workout, guys, and he can do that with Fitbod. You don't need a personal trainer to get results. All you need is a personalized workout from Fitbod. Pretty simple. Why would you go to the gym and just waste a bunch of time doing stuff that is not going to get you the results that you want, personalized to your body? I've had like maybe 5 or 6 workout partners over the years, buddies who are kind of personal trainer types. They all gave me different workouts, and I kind of forgot them all, and one was for when I was in college. Now I'm a big fat piece of shit, and I really need just cardio and leg muscle workout so I can burn calories. And Fitbod has me on a regimen, a routine. And guess what? I don't have to have the awkward situation where I pay a personal trainer and have to get in there in the gym and like work with them and be accountable to them. That's the whole reason I don't do yoga, is I don't like being told what to do. And with Fitbod, your personalized workout plan is your own to work. Okay, it's the same thing that a trainer would do for you, and you can track your streaks. That's huge for me. I'm a streak. I'm a reward guy. I can put in what workouts I did. I can look at my results. That's awesome. As I'm getting results, I can see that I'm getting results by looking at the app. Yeah, guys, Fitbod. It will make working out easier, like a personal trainer in your pocket, help you stay focused, get a better workout, and it can help you figure out how to work out at home or on the road when you don't have access to gym equipment. So get after it. You really should, guys. And if you want to, you can level up your workout by joining Fitbod today to get that personalized workout plan and get 25% off your subscription, or try the app free for the first 7 days if you go to fitbod.me/hardfactor. That's fitbod.me/hardfactor. One word.
By the way, I saw your workout buddy from college on Season 4, Episode 1 of The Righteous Gemstones, James Landry Hebert.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't it great?
Yeah, that episode kicked ass. Yeah.
Yeah, Prelude it was called. He plays
badass.
The Confederate captain.
He plays like a general, but he's been pegged to be like a old school like cowboy character.
Well, he can ride a horse. He realized if I get really good at horses, I'll get more roles, and that's what he's been getting.
He was in 1883. This was 1882. Like
he was in Horizon.
You heard it on Hard Factor first. The Rise of James Hebert.
Yeah, great episode.
All right, let's talk about the devil. Okay. Yesterday, as we mentioned at the top of the show, was episode 1666. Turns out the devil himself is a fan of the show. Not surprising, really. We cover some of his finest work on this podcast. I'm sure he loves our dark senses of humor. Plus, I pray to him every night, so he's aware.
Those guys are okay.
Yeah. You're keeping us in Lucifer's good graces.
Yeah, don't worry about it, guys. We're all good. So in honor of our upcoming 666 episode, the devil sent us a little sign that he to let us know he's listening and that he loves our Patreon show, Florida Man Friday, which you can get every week, patreon.com/hardfactor. If you want proof, the New York Times article by Hank Sanders breaks it down. You see, it appears that a demon or the devil himself, one of the devil's disciples, up to interpretation, boarded a flight, an American Airlines flight, from Savannah, Georgia, headed for Miami on Monday night. Apparently, the devil was following one man and his sister in an attempt to prevent them from getting to Haiti, where, according to 31-year-old Delange Augustine, and I'm not sure if this is actually him, but this is the picture that they put, to represent him on the article.
That's Delange.
That's Delange. In order to,
it's usually the subject of the article or the author, and I don't think that's the author.
No, it's not the author. Yeah,
looks like he's trapped in a. Looks like he's trapped in a car in a ditch with that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
it does.
he's doing the like the football like a high school football program. He's where everybody takes their picture and their neck is like
Too
Yeah.
cool
they try
for prison.
to make it as big as
Too cool
possible.
for prison.
Yeah.
He's doing
Yeah.
that pose.
You can't tell the difference of whether I'm fat or strong. Look is what he's going
Yeah.
on.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's his sister, by
Check
the way.
it out.
So
Check it out.
according to the affidavit, he and his sister were traveling to Haiti in order to, quote, flee religious attacks of a spiritual nature. Okay, so he's already a little, little. But Mr. Augustine is probably isn't being persecuted at all. Maybe he's just paranoid schizophrenic or something. Claims that a demon followed him and his sister on the plane, and so a minute after takeoff, he began to lose his fucking mind. As you would if you thought the devil was on your plane. So, if you genuinely think that, you're going to lose your mind. Everyone would. Now, the affidavit said that Mr. Augustine had told his sister to close her eyes and pray because Satan's disciples had followed them onto the plane, and the Legion did not want the Augustines to make it to Haiti. The complaint states that an attendant observed Augustine, quote, in what appeared to be a fit of epilepsy, and he was stomping incoherently, yelling and shaking. He was also slamming the seats of the passenger in front of him, and he actually just bent one of the seats back so far from his epileptic event. Now,
That's hard to do. So he kicked the seat in front of him that way.
Real hard. Hard. Now,
Busted the seat. Yeah.
he's clearly having a mental breakdown because he believes Satan's demons are on the plane. And one of the flight attendants went over to check on him. And at that point, he kicked the flight attendant so hard in the chest that they stumbled across the aisle into the window of the other side of the plane.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Now,
Satan is real.
yeah. Now, not sure if any of them were Satan's disciples or because they might have, he might have, I don't know, maybe they were gay guys. I don't know. Or it was one of Satan's gay disciples. I don't know. At any
Get
rate,
your gay disciples out of here.
yeah,
everyone on the plane was compromised, Wes.
yeah, everyone. And there's only 8 passengers, so it could have been any one of them.
Yeah.
So at any rate, the article states that when the cabin crew realized Mr. Augustine was having a medical emergency, they said Augustine's choices appeared purposeful, though difficult to describe. That's what a special agent with the FBI said. And according to the article, the pilots turned the plane around because they were like, oh, we got a crazy person that thinks the devil's on this plane. We should probably just go back. We're only a minute into this flight. This will make it easier. But that wasn't the end. So as they were leaving, chaos ensued. Mr. Augustine stormed the front of the plane, threw several haymakers at flight attendants before he and his sister were wrestled to the ground by disciples of Christ, which saved everyone. Now
You mean just not him?
Yeah, just not him. Now here's the best part. Here's the whole the funniest part of this fucking story. So during his outburst, once he started to feel that Satan was on the plane, this lunatic started swallowing rosary beads in order to ward off the demon.
Smart.
He ate
He's
like a whole
popping them like grapes, like he's popping them in one by one.
I don't know if he's like just like pulling them off the string one by one or what he's doing.
How many rosaries has he gone through?
Full
I don't know.
necklaces at a time.
I don't know if he got the cross down too, but yeah. So
Jeez.
If you see someone
popping
swallowing a
beads.
rosary, it's about to be a problem.
yeah. So once they found out that this lunatic ate a ton of rosary beads,
pulling that out though. I mean, pulling that out.
Yeah, I mean, he was convinced that the devil was on that plane. You don't eat a rosary unless you think you're in the presence of.
And there's no
Lucifer
convincing him
himself.
otherwise, because that's exactly what the devil would try to do.
right?
Like he's not going to get talked down at the rosary bead swallowing status.
Yeah, it's a circle of rosary bead eating at that point.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah. Now, so they were like, okay, you ate a bunch of rosary beads, or the passengers were like, by the way, he ate a ton of rosary beads.
Anybody else see that?
Like, I'm not a religious man, but
swallowed a whole rosary.
pretty sure he's covered.
So they're like, all right, maybe we should take him to the hospital in case these rosary beads kill him. So they took him to the hospital. Everything was fine. But now he's just sitting in jail, shitting out rosary beads,
Yeah.
waiting for his court hearing for a bunch of shit, like interfering with the flight crew, criminal property damage, a bunch of felonies, basically. So,
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, he was in like a federal airspace probably or whatever.
He's probably trying to pass the cross right now.
What'd you say the airline was?
American.
Yeah. I mean, other than
it was operated by someone else, though.
Like a pine
Satan
cone.
Airs.
Regional.
Crucifix is pretty bad in terms of design not to come out of your asshole.
Look at that.
Yeah, I'm hoping he just ate the beads.
Mhm.
It's going to be a lot easier.
What's he saying now? Is he still sticking to his guns that like you guys are idiots? The devil's on.
They didn't bother to follow up with him. I think he's probably just babbling. And
he's telling somebody about it.
Delange couldn't be contacted because
he's on the toilet.
Yeah,
waking up his cellmate as the beads plop into the metal toilet,
dinging against the porcelain.
Yeah.
Hey man, can you help me pull this out?
Come on, man.
I need a hand with this thing.
Hey, I think the cross is coming. Give me a hand.
Yank on it. The power of Christ can smells you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, amazing.
Oh man. Yeah, Delange. Anything else, Wes, on the
No, that's it.
Rosary.
That's gonna do it for the rosary swallowing.
That's amazing. All right.
I need a priest.
Yeah.
All right, let's speaking of dumb stuff like eating a rosary beads. Dumb stuff is happening all around us right now. And here's today's top 5 at like a higher level. Like we're going a little bit like world level. After Trump said Elon and Doge would be quote unquote reined in, the Doge staffing target went from 100 to 200 employees exactly 5 days later. So a little bit of mixed messaging there. You can only hope for it's more for QA staff, so they research whole departments before they fire them all at once. But you don't know what the extra 100 is going to be. Coincidence.
Can we get a few of these nerds on GTA 6?
No, actually, Mark, what they're working on, I think, coincidentally, GSAI, a Doge pilot project, has expanded testing from 150 to 1,500 federal employees, which marks the beginning of the federal government in America using AI to replace mundane office tasks. So I think that's actually why they're expanding the team. On the other side of the aisle, is it dumb to clear the Amazon to host a climate summit?
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard.
Yeah, well, that's something that's actually being done in Brazil right now. According to the BBC, quote, everything was destroyed. You could see here this guy named Claudio. He's a local there. Claudio Verquete lives about 200 meters from where the road will be. And he used to make his income from harvesting acai berries from the trees that were once where they're now building the highway. So it's a new 4-lane highway cutting through almost on purpose, it looks like from the map, tens of thousands of acres of protected Amazon rainforest. And you see there's all kinds of populated areas right next to where they're building the highway. They just wanted to put it right through the trees there.
Yeah, it's the straightest line.
Yeah, and also the most beautiful because you cut down the most rainforest that way. So you're driving through the rainforest. I mean, it's going to be gorgeous when people show up.
Nice drive, that's for sure.
You have to think about that, right? You have to think about
but
that.
You don't want to break down on that drive. There's a lot of deadly animals.
You'll get eaten by humans.
All kinds
cheap acai berries.
Claudio's squad.
True. Well, it's being cut down, guys, for the CO.
What are they, AI a shirt on Claudio? There's no way he has clothes, right?
It's being cut down for the COP30 climate summit in the Brazilian city of Belém this November. One of their main goals at the summit will be discussing how to end deforestation to aid in atmospheric carbon absorption.
Well, this is a good example of something that should not, how you can end it is don't build highways, right? Like this could be part of the presentation.
You'd think, right? Because I mean, they're literally doing the thing. They're going to talk about what they shouldn't be doing. The Brazilian president and environment minister have proudly said this will be a historic summit because it is a, quote, COP in the Amazon, not a COP about the Amazon. So,
I mean, you got to think they did it.
Said, fuck off, everybody. We'll cut down the trees when we want to. That's what Brazil's official stance.
You got to think they did, because Brazil does this. They have the most rainforest, and they just don't give a fuck. They're always cutting that shit down. But you got to think they did it because, like, I know that Bolsonaro is not in office anymore. But
yeah, it's a left-leaning government now. But what the COP is finding out is that doesn't matter if you're Brazilian.
You want to show off how pretty the rainforest is on the way to the climate.
So
I mean, small price to pay.
This is like when the Vatican brings all the boys in for like a child sex seminar.
Mm-hmm.
Do they do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they sure do that. Yeah.
That's depressing. Yeah, I mean, it's not. It's
and it's also ironic, you know. It's also like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if this is I've more just straight dumb to me than ironic. But taking it to the internet, Plastic Free Mermaid says it's so embarrassing to be a human right now. And Audit Squatro says you couldn't make 2025 up if you tried. It is pretty fucking stupid. How about Big Food versus the pre-packaged food lobby? That's what I'm talking about. Wanting to fight back against Ozempic, making people eat less. You guys think that's dumb?
Wow.
Or smart?
No, that makes total sense.
Yeah, it's actually kind of smart. According to the New York Times, Matson Food Laboratory in Northern California is researching how to make food more addictive to overpower the weight loss effects of Ozempic. They're calling it GLP-1 optimized products.
Damn, that's fucking. That's the devil.
Yeah.
Devil.
Yeah. They want to make those fatties eat again, and it's more evil than it is dumb. So yeah.
Oh man.
You're right about that. Speaking of the food lobby, did you know that it's largely the baby formula lobby keeping maternity leave requirements so short by law in America? They spend millions of dollars making moms go back to work faster so that they have to buy baby formula.
That's fucked up. Where'd you hear that? That's
I thought that was a myth. Is that true? That's crazy.
No, that's a true one. All that mandatory sweet mama milk money stonks.
Jeez.
Dude, the devil's all over this episode.
I think that one's dumb and evil. And dumbest of all, of course, guys, it's microplastics again. It's always microplastics, okay? This is the dumbest fucking thing we've ever done. A few new studies for you. Boston University, March 11th. Microplastics that we have in all of us carry both bacteria and make antibiotics less effective. So that you can get sick from eating them, which you do all the time unknowingly, and they can also make it so that the medicines you get from the doctor won't work as well. So that'll fuck you up.
I haven't heard a single good thing that microplastics do for you.
No, they're all bad. Here's another science study, SciTech Daily from March 5th. Microplastics in the Arctic ice samples have doubled since 2015 to 10,000 particles per kilogram. And then November 12th, microplastics survive wastewater treatment. So they'll just continue to stack up in the water supply until we decide to do something.
Every time you talk about this shit, I swear I can feel them inside me.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Wes, watch this. This is the demonstration. You eat about a plastic spoonful a year. So if we just keep, year after year after year consuming on average per American, a full plastic spoonful, you eat the whole fucking thing per year. Yeah. 1 year, 2 years, and they just keep stacking up of oil-based plastic we had no idea we ate or drank, and study after study is saying that we're fucking retarded for doing it. So that's just,
I brought up
eating spoons because that's what basically we're doing with the whole microplastics.
The guy who invented plastics is like second worst human to Hitler, and he looked like him, and it was around the same era, and he was like from a country real close to it, real close to Germany. Some shady shit going on there.
It's stupid. It's causing all kinds of health problems, and we just every study makes it very clear. Anyways, those are the top 5 dumbest things I could find right now. That's the show. Thanks for listening. I got to pull up another dumb comment though. Al Mahelium, he says, "Who's demons? Americans killed millions of Philippines-American war. Who's demons now?" The title is Duterte, Demons on Flights, Drinking Creek Water, and Other Dumb Things. Those are not the same thing, man.
Al Mahelium.
He is right, but not really coming with a lot of context here, Al.
Good English.
Al Mahelium is not good at reading.
Mm-hmm.
No. Just had to set the record straight.
We killed a lot less of you than the Spanish did, Al. So take that. Okay. Think about that.
Great point. That's why everybody's got Spanish names over there and towns and stuff. Okay,
I wish she was Al la 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 la. That's what I wish,
True.
That's the alma helium. Get out of here.
Yeah.
But tell your friends.
All right. Yeah. Tell your friends out. That's the show. Everybody
Let's
out
spread
there,
the word.
thanks for listening. Thanks for being part of the Hardo Hive. Join patreon.com/Hard Factor if you want to listen, watch the first playthrough ever of World War III, the game, on this week's Hive Hour. Most importantly, get out there and have yourselves a great fucking day.